Hey, good afternoon, my dear beloved brothers. Hey, this is Matthew, Mr. Hope Richerzhagen with Phenomenal Marriage, and I'm just continuing the beginning of 2022, the inspirational messages on losing more and gaining more and having more. Zig Ziglar taught us you got to be before you can do, you got to do before you can have, and that fits in exactly with this message today. What I want to talk about today is the foundational principle for all human relationships. This is especially true for marriage. And this principle right here is what makes the difference. People live up to or down to your expectations. People live up to, come closer and closer to you when you love them and accept them as they are without any, without any rules or limits or you got to do this. And people move away from you when you try and control them. Without freedom, there can be no love. And here's the honest to goodness truth, my dear beloved brothers. In order to truly cherish your wife, I almost said Matthew. In Ephesians 5, verse 25, it says, "Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it." That is a very tall command. Very tall. And so often I talk to guys and they're like, well, my wife's not submitting. That's a separate video. Stay with me on this one. Husbands, love your wives. And really, it's a pleasure and an honor when you do it with the overflow of God's love for you. When you cherish her as your amazing bride. God wants us to be friends, partners, and lovers. And this works when you like your spouse and you're committed to meeting their needs. The number one thing, all these researchers have done all this research. John Gottman, Gary Thomas, Love and Respect, just like gobs and gobs and gobs of research. And they can tell you all the things that are wrong. Gottman talks about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and how people don't accept bids. And Love and Respect, Emerson Eggerichs, he talks about how men need respect and women need love, which is totally true. Totally true. The one thing that makes a marriage work, that makes any relationship work, is goodwill. It's liking your spouse, unconditional love. Loving them without restrictions, without a bunch of, you got to do this and you got to do this and you got to do this for you to be okay. You got to do all this for me to be okay. Nope. I love you just the way you are. It gives that person room to turn towards you. It gives your wife room to turn towards you. It gives them room to become the amazing creature that God created her to be. The number one foundational principle is liking your spouse. It's goodwill, liking your spouse and committing to meet her needs. And here's the thing. Your deepest abiding emotional need is respect. Hers is love, to be loved and cherished. Your secondary need is physical affection. It's sex. I said it. Oh, I said it online. It's sex. And you're not broken. That's how God made you. Don't feel bad. That's how men connect. They emotionally connect in a physical way. It's an emotional need. Tim and Darcy Kimmel said, hey, I didn't have any problem meeting my husband's needs when I figured that out. It's an emotional need. It's not a physical need like sleep. It's an emotional need. A lady's deepest abiding emotional need is love. The secondary need is security. Guys, your wife needs to know she's number one. She's not in competition with any other woman, with anything on the screen, with your children, with your job. She is number one. You're connected to God, and your number one object in this world is her. And when she feels that, and people say, well, Matt, what do I do? The number one thing you do is grow that in your heart. You give thanks for her. Over and over and over and over. You write a gratitude list. You praise her for all the things, all those attributes that she's so good at. Her giftings, her callings. It starts right here in your mind. People live up to or down to your expectations. If you're frustrated at her, she doesn't feel it. Frustration is anger. I am the guiltiest guy in here. I was frustrated. That is not love. There is no limit to legal, if you're drinking and driving, there's a legal limit. You can have this much blood, this much alcohol in your blood, and you can safely drive. There's no legal limit for how much frustration is okay. None. Zero is okay. Anything above that is not okay. That's not love. And you may say, Matt, that's not realistic. My wife does all these things. This is the way you can live. You can live one of two ways. If you live with no expectations, I am here to love and serve you. I am here to be your husband. I'm here to lead you, love you, and lift you up. If she does something that you don't like, you have the opportunity. You can tell her, honey, when that happened, I felt disrespected. I would prefer you do this, and just drop it. You can live like that. It's possible. The first thing to get where you want to be, you got to believe it's possible. The other way to live is to live with a garbage bag, and you walk around and she said, oh, she did that. Oh, she did this. Oh, she didn't do the kids like I asked her to. Oh, the house isn't clean when I come home. Oh, I don't like what I got for dinner. And pretty soon you're carrying a big old bag of garbage, and you don't like it, and it smells, and she doesn't like it, and it's your fault because you're carrying it. Get rid of the bag. Get rid of all your expectations. Just love her as the amazing, beautiful, wonderful, incredible woman that God created her to be. I'm so glad you're mine. Mwah! Women just love that. They eat that up. That's what romance is to a woman, is just being cherished. And then she needs security. She needs to know that she's number one. She needs to know that she doesn't have to worry about you. Watch what you watch. Watch what you look at. Don't put any dirty pictures in front of your face. Don't look at stuff like that. It affects your heart. It affects your walk with the Lord. It affects your relationship, even if you think she doesn't know. Be honest, you guys. Be honest, my dear beloved brothers. Be clean. Be upright. That's what the strength, the courage, the breastplate of righteousness is, walking upright before the Lord. That's what it takes to be a tender warrior, to lead her in love. That's the foundation. And you say, Matt, how... I'm not 100% sure I understand this. When you walk in the door, let me tell you a brief story. It's in the Baseline Emotional State video. A traveling salesman comes home, and he has his luggage in his arms, and he kicks the door. Bang, 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 bang. And she opens the door. And the man walks in and drops his luggage, and he says, honey, while I was gone, I went to a seminar, and I learned something. I learned I'm not getting the respect around here that I deserve. There's going to be some changes. And don't you know that she said, you're sure right about that, buddy. I was thinking while you were gone, and I'm sick and tired of you treating me. But what if he came home and he had his luggage in his arms, and he set the luggage down and he knocked on the door, knock, knock, knock. And she opened the door, and he reached around her and pulled her into his arms, and he gave her a little old kiss. Mwah. He said, honey, I sure love you. You amazing, beautiful, incredible woman. I am so blessed to have you as my bride. It's an honor to be your husband, to lead you through this world, to serve you, to provide for you and protect you. Babe, while I was away on this trip, I went to this seminar, and I realized I really haven't been the man that you need me to be. And God really spoke to my heart. And babe, I'm going to seek, with God's help, to do that. And don't you know, she said, oh, babe, oh, you big stud. Oh, you know what? I've been a little bit frustrated with you myself by times lately, and I'll work on that. Mwah. That's what it takes. And you can say, well, I'm going to do this if you do that for me. But that's not love. That's bartering. There's 4 levels here. There's take. And I've met people who want to just take from their spouse. You know what? Eventually, they're going to run out. You can't be permanently happy at somebody else's expense. There's give and take. That's where if they do this, I'm going to do that. You make dinner, you do all this, you make love to me, then I'll provide for you and I'll play with the kids. And if you do it right, then I'll help you with dinner. You guys, that's not love. That's not a real marriage. That's not a team. That's not a team game. That's selfishness. That's keeping score. And the problem is you never know. Was that 49 or 51 or whatever? Keeping score is a downward spiral that leads to where everybody loses. Love doesn't do that. Love does what's best for the object of its love. For reals. Ouch, I know that hurts, but that's real. For God so loved the world that he gave. Love gives. Love does. As Bob Goff says, love does. The third level, so there's take. You can't do that. A lot of people try it, but pretty soon your spouse is empty, dried up. All you do is take from them. Try that with your bank account for a while. Pretty soon you're overdrawn. There's nothing in that. Try that in your garden. Don't water it. Don't weed it. Don't plant anything. You're just going to have a giant mess of weeds. But if you'll water it, if you'll plant it, if you'll fertilize it, it'll grow. Yes, you'll have some weeds you have to pluck, but you'll have a beautiful garden. The third level is give. Give. You say, Matt, I give all the time. She doesn't respect me. She won't make love to me. She doesn't do it back. I don't know your story, but I do know the one who created you and your wife. I know the one who created the universe. And he said, give and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, flowing over. With the same measure that you use, it's going to be used back. You say, Matt, I don't know my wife. No, I don't. But I know my God, and I know your God, and I know the creator of your wife. And what I have found is if you will love her, it will give her room to turn towards you. And for sure, it'll make your marriage and your life better than if you fought her. It'll make it better than if you did tit for tat and she didn't do this, so I'm not going to do that. That's a bunch of baloney. You're here to love and serve. Matt, how do I do that? There's all the love all around you flowing into you. Jesus, I need more love. I need another download. You're ready to love and serve. But I'm tired. Yeah, your flesh is, but your spirit isn't. It's ready to love and serve. The fourth level is to understand that love has a counterfeit. It's called dependency. And dependency says, I will be nice to you if you do what I want when I want it. And that's not love at all. That's what a lot of people live with. If my wife doesn't make love to me, then I feel hurt and I'm mad at her. Like, I understand rejection, guys. I'm a guy too. That's the subject of another video. As far as love goes, love does not demand its own way. Love is not self-seeking. You have needs. It's a real thing. Make a request. Choose to love and serve no matter what she does. It will give her room to turn towards you. Without freedom, there can be no love. When you show up to love and serve, it makes an amazing marriage possible. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. It can be amazing. No matter where you are, you can get to where you want to be soulmates, one flesh, spirit, soul, and body. That's all for now. I went way over. Thank you so much for watching. Here at Phenomenal Marriage, we're here for you, helping you overcome friction, frustration, and power struggles, and grow to become soulmates, one flesh, spirit, soul, and body, just as God intended. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.